Hello, Tucker. So I played around. This is when I started, I think. And I will go through the screens. And of course, you can stop the video and read them all. Um, these were the chemical sensitivities. Now, what we look for are the numbers above 600 and below 200 to put into the holding tray or to process. So um, you can see I took two images here. One, volatile organic compounds, formaldehyde are the two on the low end. Electrical sensitivity looks like UHF and electrical appliances. Um, in infection energetics, you were high on virus, high on Lyme, low on fungus, and low on mold. Now, I don't know if I just thought about it or you told me you had a flood in your house at some point. I would get some mold testing uh, on Amazon, little pads that you test with, and make sure that you don't have any mold anywhere. Um, Now, what you need to understand is the numbers in between 200 and 600 are the pretty much normal amount of energy, let's call it, about things. So when we put the low and the high into the tray, what we're trying to do is balance them, move them more toward the middle. Okay. Now, the low numbers indicate to some degree that your body isn't paying attention. And the numbers that are high indicate that your body is kind of hyper vigilant or acute understanding that something's going on. Okay. Now, sacred geometry is, you can see the low numbers there. I'll probably have to explain to you what sacred geometry is later sometime. And flower life, square root, Fibonacci. Well, Fibonacci's a little bit below 600, so it's okay. Now, basal ganglia was high, brainstem, and frontal lobe. Emotional, kind of high on the ones at the top, you can see, and kind of low at the ones on the bottom. Now, this is the premium library that I purchased. Well, I purchased multiple libraries. Each one of these is a library. Um, and so these are the numbers that came out high when I ran all of the libraries. Now, infections, I'm drilling down a little bit. See, we started with infections being the highest one. I drilled down. So Katrina virus, virus X were the two high ones. And I guess we didn't have any low ones. So foods as food, vitamin foods, food as medicine. Carrot juice came out high. Sauerkraut. If you're not eating sauerkraut every day, I would recommend that you do that just for your gut. Bee pollen. So we'll balance these. And these are the positive beliefs in the Healing Chronic Cases Assessment 4, Embracing Positive Beliefs. So these would be the ones that you ask about in your email. So I might write down, I am significant in this world, I'm healthy, the ones that are above 600 for sure. And the ones that are below 200, I would write all those down too. And the reason why you write them down, now you can record these things, put them onto a recorder, put them on your phone, play them back once a day. This is called entrainment. And this is what we do with the frequencies. If you buy the machine or the software to use, or if you work with me or a practitioner that runs these, I would give you a once a week set of things that you would play. You wouldn't have to necessarily listen to them, but you would play them at least once or twice a day to entrain the frequencies. Okay, so we could talk about that. So these are the cancer ones that I ran, and these are more cancer ones that I ran. These are harmonizing affirmations. These are additional affirmations that you can choose to entrain. Pick out. You don't have to pick out all of them. Pick out 2 or 3 to put on your. If you think you do better in training with writing, then what you would do is just copy them every day for 4 or 5 days, and then go to the next set. Okay. And the interesting thing about entrainment is that oftentimes you entrain additional stuff by doing it. Okay. So, and this is the part where I take all of the things that I put into the tray at the bottom, and it does another run through the frequencies and looks at them and then puts them in order of which are resonating in you at the highest levels. So I select all the high ones, and then I run the balancing. Okay. Sometimes I bump it; it starts firing before. But these are the ones that I ran, and that was the last one, Bacteria X. Okay, and then after that, then I checked the aura setting, the aura with you again. Okay, and I have a document. The brighter the color basically is generally the better. The green going up or any color going up is typically considered spiritual energy flowing toward you. And the ones that are going sideways generally are energy that's moving through. Okay. The next thing I did was I checked. This is the explanation of what I did. Okay, the more complete the circle, the more beneficial. Okay, so up at the top, I thought, well, let's see, is he sleeping enough? So I put sleep 8 hours, and what it came out was, you can see that all of them are, except the mind one, are quite complete. They're way more than half. So the spiritual sleeping 8 hours. And then I also compared, okay, well, what if we sleep 9 hours? Okay, you don't need to sleep 9 hours according to the energy fields. The only one you gained on at 9 hours was your mind. So you have to choose, okay, well, I know if I sleep 8, I get more benefit in all these areas, but when I sleep 9, I get benefit in my mind. Okay? Sleeping 10 hours, you can review these images and see. Okay. Walking 30 minutes. You did real high numbers, you can see, high completion. And then when I put you at 45, it went down a little bit. So I would do my walks at around 30 minutes, like we talked about. And that seems to be what your body wants right now. So walking for an hour didn't help anything, except your energy field went quite a bit up. So interesting. The energy field went up in all of them. So I think 30 minutes is the ideal amount for you right now. I don't know if you're meditating, but I also tested that. And you can see this is the only time in your analysis that your energy field was complete if you meditate 30 minutes a day. Okay? You'll get tremendous amount of uh, body, spiritual, and energy field. Interestingly, the mind didn't seem to get a higher, more complete circle. Haven't seen this particular pattern before. Maybe you want to try meditating for half an hour and see how you do. Okay. Now, the next thing I did was I did a response assessment. Now, this is an analysis where we put in the phrase plant-based whole food diet, okay? And what it compared is doing that behavior how it changes how your frequency is assessed, okay? So interestingly enough, your body on a plant-based whole food diet on this analysis went from 666 down to 28, which was an 82% difference. That's an enormous difference. I was shocked how much that. Maybe you will do best on a close to plant-based diet, which would mean 1 or 2 times a week at most. You have 1 or 2 ounces of animal product. Okay. So the stress in your life will go down with the whole food plant-based diet from almost 700 down to 510. So it moved from the out above 600 down into the lower by changing that one thing. Okay. This is by no means, this is only about energy. Okay. So you can look at all these and see what you think. I tried to shoot still pictures of each section because the reports that come out are too confusing for me to understand. Again, take a look at the different things and see. And what we can do is explore the ones that you think are most interesting for you at another time. Okay. Interesting that your digestion on this assessment it shows it not very strong. So I think the enzymes should help you. Okay. And we can do other response assessments with other phrases. Okay, so this is the other phrase that I tested. Remove fish from your diet, because you'd mentioned that you were having fish again. And I thought, So interestingly enough, if you just remove the fish from your diet, you go from a 28 to a 513, which is a pretty amazing change. So those are the things that you can look at. And that's all the time that I spent. I guess I spent, I'm not sure exactly, a couple hours fiddling with it. So hope this helps you to understand, and I hope the the entrainment is clear to you. Call me after you look at this. I'm not going to make it too much longer because it's asking you a lot to take much time to read it all, listen to it, and all that. Okay? Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.